And Miguel, that's a good point, because when you say lack of communication, who wants to communicate at the end of the day when you're tired? And couples will come in saying, I need to learn to communicate. I think in actuality we need to teach them to listen, and to listen to ourselves, and to listen to our significant others to see what's going on with them. So I think it's important.
And that goes along with what you were saying. You know, Diane apparently has a deprogramming ritual. I mean, you can have rituals that are fun, that get you out of where you're at. And because, you know, when you come home, for example, and you have young children, I have young children at home, and you know, sometimes the last thing you want to do is interact with them. And they, instead of being a stressor, they can recharge you, as Diane was saying. You need to get your ritual in place and get your energy back up again. And your outlet can be totally different.
You know, I can't tell you how good it feels to hear a doctor speaking about sacred space and ritual and really looking at life with a certain amount of sacredness. And that's really what we're coming back into in the 90s. It's really coming back to ourselves and the interacting and creating the little points of how we celebrate through ritual, through recharging, and sharing a part of us. That's how we give, you know, ourselves to another, which is so vital.
Okay, now we're now at the point of that we're with our significant other. We have dinner. Usually we sit there and go like this on the TV set. And then it's time to go to bed. And usually a day that you actually view half empty, the glass, usually that's, which I'm going to turn this question to you. We're going to have effects here on insomnia, usually. We have an effect here on of course, blood pressure and so, you know, so forth, that you can actually clue us in a little bit more on that. And we're going to have actually our next segment, which will continue taping continuously. We're going to get into the psychosomatics, how this affects our life. So we're now into the sleeping mode. How does this day that we have described in both ways, how this is going to affect us?
Well, if you haven't learned how to turn off the stress, it's going to carry with you so that you can't sleep. For example, you'll be replaying events of the day constantly, and that is the commonest reason that people can't get to sleep. And if you don't have a significant other who can be supportive, then it can perpetuate itself. And this is a training process. None of this comes naturally, I don't think, in our segment of society at this point in time. We are all sensory overloaded with technology and with noise, etc. We've lost our primitive senses to tune into our partner, for example. So communication is really important. And again, the deprogramming process at the end of the day is very important. And defining needs and expectations, which I know we're going to talk about with relationships more so later, that is key in order to culminate the day.
Well, I know that everyone in this table, as a practitioner, has integrated the support of other concepts in healthcare. I know that you have worked with psychotherapists. I know that you have worked with medical doctors and so forth, because it is a balance to take care of someone who has had actually a day like this, many days like this. You know, we just took one day of years of someone's life, which is pretty much what's coming in our way, symptoms that have created with the way that we view our world around it. We haven't even touched on environmental effects on stress, which now we're seeing a lot of chemicals in the water we drink, chemicals in the air that we breathe, chemicals in the buildings that we occupy. Sick building syndrome is becoming a reality. The air in the new energy efficiency building type thing, they just recirculate. So the diffusion of chemicals from copy machines, the diffusion for carbonless papers, from white owls, of formaldehydes and so forth, are having an effect on our health and on our behavior. So it is very important for us as we begin our day and we end our day to pretty much have a view, the right view, and be able to sort things out.
Miguel, it's interesting because everyone wants a passion for life, and what they don't realize is you have to work on that. It doesn't come easy. And I think that we need to teach people how to use these tools to enhance their life. So I think it's very important that as role models we're able to do this, and I can see the energy it brings to every one of us who utilize this. So I think it's very important that we share this with our clients.
I definitely feel that we're in a point in time right now where it won't just take one aspect. It takes a multiplicity of different aspects and looking at it in a very full way, in a very whole way. And I feel that this is what we're seeing our movement in terms of healthcare, in terms of humanities, moving more towards a more dynamic perspective of wholeness. And stress is very much, I think, we are to look at stress as an opportunity to break out now new systems, new tools. And as Linda said, you know, the technology is really, for the amount of high tech, we're going to need high touch. And we're going to need to learn how to touch and how to be in touch with that part of our anxiety or our intensity that is very destructive. We're seeing our society and the decay that exists in a way that we need to look at now the dynamics of practitioners and of people and their needs of what exactly are people needing, because stress is something that is a matter of, it's our life right now, it's a part of our life.
And the awareness to be able to create a program that's designed specifically for you. And if you're not able to do that yourself, to go to a professional and to say, these are the problems that I'm having, how can you help put some input into this so my life is functioning a little bit better? I don't want to live the craziness. We're living a lot longer and we want a better quality of life. And this is definitely a step in the right direction. So I'm thrilled that we're able to discuss it.
Exactly.
As Jody said too, you know, by the way, none of us have the book written on us.
Right.
And none of us, even though we're, quote, role models, we have some insight into it, but we're all learning every day.
Absolutely.
And we're all interacting as a, you know, in order to do this, to enhance our lives personally and those of our patients or clients.
Right.
So certainly we're not here to say that we've got it all figured out,
Exactly.
but we want to figure it out, and we're all working on it just like everybody else needs to work on it.
Yeah.
We have a couple of minutes left, so let's go in conclusion. Jody?
Well, I'd like to say that stress offers for us an advantage point to really look deeper within ourselves and deeper within what our potential is to create balance and really a loving, harmonic way of being.
Dr. Maraschini? 1 minute left.
Stress is an opportunity to take control and to see that we've chosen sometimes to be in certain situations. It's not that it's being done to us.
Dr. Baker?
I look at stress as a way that we live the challenge of our life and an opportunity for us to live it to the best.
And the moral of the story is that we need to do whatever we're able to do to give a chance to ourselves to look at this glass half full. And if we need to go to someone to sort things out, thank God there's people like Jody, Dr. Maraschini, Dr. Baker. We thank you very much for watching. We're going to keep taping. We're going to be talking about stress next week, stress and psychosomatic. Thank you. We'll see you next.